another studio time, Tiny Clay Picture Part 3. In my Part 1 video, I shared with you different clay techniques to explore and experiment with. In my Part 2 video, I shared ways to work on your idea that you could follow to create your tiny clay picture. And in this Part 3 video, I'm going to share with you how you can create your tiny clay picture by following your plan. Here are the tools and materials you will need. First, I'd like you to gather your plan. Remember, I invited you to draw 4 things that live in one place, and I drew 4 things that live in my backyard. And then once you've decided which one you would like to make into your tiny clay picture, please cut it out. I decided I'd like to turn my little birdie into my tiny clay picture. Then I'd like you to cut another piece of cardboard, the same size as the one you did when you made your plan. And then, of course, there are more things to gather, your different tools and found objects to be able to create textures in the clay. I'd also like you to gather your clay experiments to look at as a reference. Of course, you'll need your colorful clay as well. I also find it's helpful to have a wet wipe with me so I can wipe off and clean my fingers in between each color. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, now we're going to begin. We're going to start by creating our background layer. Now, following your plan, I would like you to look at the colors that you've decided on. You may decide to follow them, just as you've created them in your drawing, or you may decide to change your idea a bit. It's up to you. I made mine a very sunny background for my birdie. I really like that. I'm going to continue that plan. So of course now I need to get my colors and then begin spreading the clay to cover this piece of cardboard. I'm going to use the blending technique as I go. It's going to be a lot of fun. Have fun blending and creating your background as well, and take your time. That was fun. I just finished creating the background layer for my tiny clay picture, following my plan, looking at the colors, very carefully spreading the clay, blending as I went along, and covering up the entire piece of cardboard. Now it's time to create the basic shapes and forms of the different things that are in your tiny clay picture. For me, it's my birdie, the branch, and the sunshine. Now, there are many ways that you could go about this. You may decide to just get some clay and create those forms. This part could be for the body of my birdie. So I can just very carefully hold it up to my drawing, match that shape, pulling, pinching, shaping the best I can, and then placing it down. Get another piece for the birdie's head, very carefully using my fingers to form and shape it, and placing it down. So you can see here I've created a small circular shape for the birdie's head and sort of an oval shape for the body. So that's one way that you can create the basic shapes and forms. There's other ways as well. Another way you can create your basic shapes and forms is by drawing them with a toothpick right on your background. I'm going to do this with my sunshine. So very carefully, I'm using a sharp toothpick as a sharp point. I'm going to draw by pressing in. Notice it's sort of like carving into the clay. I'm drawing that spiral shape that I can follow for my sunshine. And you can do this for all of the parts of your picture. A third way is by once again using your sharp toothpick. But this time, you're going to take your drawing, the plan that you made, and you're very carefully going to set it on top of your background. Trying to line up those edges as best you can. And then use your helper hand and hold that paper down. And you're going to start to very carefully trace around the basic shapes. But this time, you're going to make dots. So you're going to poke in and push it. You're going to hear a little snap, and you're going to keep going all the way around. Take your time. We're not going to worry about the little details, so I'm not going to trace my flowers. I'm not even going to trace the beak that you see there. Just the shape of the head. And I'm going to keep going around the birdie and around the branch very carefully. I've just traced all of the basic shapes by poking the holes. Are you ready to see what it looks like? All right, so I'm going to put my toothpick down right now. Lift up my drawing. Here we go. You can see the dots there. We don't have lines yet though, so very carefully, once again you need your patience, we're going to go dot to dot and make those shapes. All right, here we go. I'm going to start on the birdie's head. I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to trace those dots, going very carefully. Can you see the shape of the head coming? There it is. Now I'm going to start here, right at the birdie's neck, and I'm going to go around, following carefully around those dots. That's it. Very carefully. I'm going to keep going. If you don't follow them exactly, that's all right. Here we go. All right, there's the birdie. There's its head and its body. Now I need to make the lines for the branch. All right, now it's time to sculpt the different parts of my drawing. I'm going to begin with the branch that my birdie's going to be sitting on. One of the techniques I shared in our part 1 video was blending and mixing colors together right in your hands. I'm going to use this technique for creating the branch. And these are the 3 colors that I've decided I'm going to use. So let's see here. I'm just going to have fun combining them together and stopping when I'm pleased. That was fun creating the branch that my birdie's gonna sit on using a twisting technique with 3 different colors. Now I'm gonna sculpt the basic shapes for my birdie, my blue birdie. I'm gonna use the same technique that I used for the branch. So I have 3 different blues here that I'm going to use. First, to twist them together to make an interesting, beautiful pattern for the birdie's body. Now it's time to add different textures and details. I'm going to start with the branch. I took a lot of time experimenting with the different tools that I had. I've decided I'm going to use this tool to make an impression into my branch. I'm very pleased with how that really reminds me of bark. It's so much fun to try different tools to make different textures. Now it's time to add the textures and details to my little birdie friend. I'm going to first start by creating textures to its head and body, and then I'm going to add the other details. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm going to take my time. going to add a few more details to the background layer. I'm going to use the coiling technique with my snakes for the sunshine and some little balls to add some textures for the trees in the background. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to add a few more final details. I love creating clay pictures, and I had so much fun designing and creating this tiny clay picture of my little birdie friend that likes to visit in my backyard. I hope you had fun creating your picture too. I wonder what stories your picture will tell or inspire. Happy storytelling, everyone. Bye-bye.